this is the IT management programs breakout. So we are the BS IT program, we are the MSITM program, and the bridge program between the two, which we call MSITM UG for undergrad. And I see we have people joining us from all over the country. So we're going to start with some introductions. First of all, I'm Peggy White. I'm the Associate Dean and Director for the IT Management Programs. And I'm joining you from beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. I have 20 plus years of experience in technology, mostly in business. I spent about 15 years of my career as the Chief Information Officer at the water management districts in Florida. I've also worked in the financial industry, the paper industry, and before coming to WGU, I had another educational experience in Florida's community college system. So but I'm delighted to be at WGU and to bring a lot of business experience to the IT programs. And I have with me today two of our wonderful managers. So, Alan, let's start with you. Introduce yourself, and then Kevin, you can just jump right in with your introduction.
All right. Good afternoon or morning, everyone, depending on where you're coming from. My name is Alan Bruce. I'm a faculty manager here in the IT management program. I have a team of 14 mentors that is very excited to help you out and accomplish and receive your degree. I am retired military. And I've been at WGU for about 9 years. So I look forward to assisting all of you to accomplishing your successful graduation or um, whatever it is that you need. So welcome.
Thanks, Alan. My name's Kevin Ray, faculty manager here at WG also, and also ex-military like Alan. Served in the Air Force and National Guard, and started my career, gosh, back in the 1900s. Let's just say, quite a few decades, almost 4 decades experience as an electrical engineer, computer scientist, and different big iron corporations, Bell Labs, General Dynamics, and I've had my own consulting business and um, getting together in a PhD in computer science for the convergence of artificial intelligence, quantum technology, and data science. And used to teach artificial intelligence about AI about 10 years ago and was hoping that we would finally see the day that we're in now. So AI is obviously very hot and it ties into these degrees very well, especially IT, BSIT, and the MSITM program. So looking forward to helping support your journey at WGU. It's a great place to get your degree. Really amazing stuff that Peggy's going to share with us today. So thank you.
All right. Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to show a brief PowerPoint and talk about, in general, the programs that we offer, and then we're going to open up the stage for questions. So this session is about you and what you want to learn about our program. So don't hesitate to put some questions in. So I'm going to chat for a little bit, and then we'll open it up to questions from the group. So let me start this slideshow, and hopefully everyone can see this in full screen mode now. We do have three programs in our area. We have the BSIT, the MSITM, and the Bridge program, which we call MSITM UG. The BSIT program is the building block that we build a lot of this on, and I think it's a particularly fantastic degree right now because the BSIT degree is going to broadly prepare you for career in tech. So let's jump right in and talk about that degree first. And let's see if I can get my screen to change here. This is really the foundation for a technology career, we're going to cover hardware, software, networking, security, and data management. And then we're going to give you some very industry relevant certifications that I think are really important to your career. We're going to give you what I call the CompTIA stack, the A plus, the Net plus, the Security plus. We're also going to give you an AWS Cloud cert and a Linux cert. So there are some stackable certs that you'll also get from CompTIA as well as a part of this. So there are 9 in all. Those look really great on your resume. They're particularly relevant if you don't have any industry experience. So this will sometimes help you get a foot in the door and an edge up as you're looking for employment. And speaking of employment, there is a great job market for BSIT. If you look at this graph, the bigger the circles are, the more jobs there are now. So there are a lot of project manager jobs, and one of the certs you would get from CompTIA is Project Plus. So it will prepare you to manage IT projects, perhaps on a junior level, and then pursue a more specialized degree in project management or some more certs in project management. We have a lot of systems administration jobs, so you'll have some networking and security courses to prepare you for that. Tech support, support specialists, IT technicians, help desk. You're going to be well prepared for any of those, as well as you're going to have some security. So beginning jobs in information security as analysts or network admins are also going to be available to you with this degree. So you're going to get a broad foundation. You can take it in a lot of different directions. And then if you want to specialize after your degree, you can layer on some more certs. So for example, if you wanted to be a project manager, you'll have some Project Plus, but then you could also layer on PMP certification after you got some experience working as you move through your career as a project manager. For our master's degree, the MSITM, this is going to focus more on leadership, understanding the business, aligning solutions with business goals, and how you can deliver value for your organization. This degree has one optional certification. It is a project management certification, and it's the CAPM. The CAPM is the Project Management Institute certification that prepares you for your PMP. The PMP does require a number of years of project management experience, so but this degree will help prepare you for that. So if you do well on your CAPM, you'll be well prepared to then later pursue a PMP. If you do already have your PMP coming into the master's degree, then this is a course that you could get credit for. We don't transfer in many courses for MSITM, but this is one if you are PMP certified that you can transfer in. And then in terms of management jobs, there are a lot of management jobs. You're going to see that project manager is probably the biggest circle right now. We also have product owners, product management in IT, any type of manager's job. We're going to give you the leadership to manage in that, whether it's in the service desk area or the software development. Another great play for the MSITM is a consultant. Again, you're getting a broad base of knowledge, and so that's going to prepare you to be consulting in many different areas. And of course, it will also begin preparing you to be a chief information officer, but that's not the kind of job you walk into without experience. But if you already have experience and you're coming back to school, this is going to prepare you to become a chief information officer. And then we have a bridge program that kind of shortens the path from the BS degree to the master's degree. Instead of spending 4 years on a BS and a year on a master's, or a year and a half on a master's, this is going to cut a term off your master's degree. So you not only are going to save money, but you're going to save time. So it's a little bit the best of both worlds. And what happens is you take 4 courses at the master's level in your undergrad program, so that eliminates the term when you get into the master's. The MUG program is still going to give you these industry relevant certifications, because you're going to basically take the same courses you take for your BSIT, but your leadership courses will be at the graduate level. And the other change is that your project management course will be at the graduate level. So over here on the right-hand side, Project Plus will be replaced with the CAPM. So you will be exchanging that for the CAPM cert. One thing to remember when you are going into this program is that you must graduate from the BSIT portion of this, and then in the next term start your master's. So you must finish at least 2 terms to get this degree. So 1 term at least to finish your BSIT, and another term for the master's. And this is because the Department of Education has rules that prevent you from being enrolled in 2 programs at once. So this is not something we can change. So when you are planning your bridge program with your program mentor, you need to make sure that you work a little bit on the timing of the courses, so that you are not left with courses in the BSIT. Maybe you have 1 course and a whole term to finish it. You don't want to do that. You want to try to do some planning so that you finish up your BSIT kind of at the end of the term, and then you can start immediately on your master's. But it is a great time saver, and it's also a great money saver. And who doesn't want to save the cost of a whole term when you're going to school? It's quite a good return on your investment. So hopefully we will see you in the WGU halls really soon. And what I want to do now is I want to open up the floor so you can ask us questions.
Peggy,
So
we have some questions in the chat I'd like to read to you.
Okay.
Okay, so Hannah asked, would this program be a good transition for someone who has a teaching degree?
So we do have some people who have come over to us from education, and I think one, it depends on what you want to do with this degree. I've worked with quite a number of people in education who wanted to be like the school technology coordinator. So this is a great degree from somebody who's coming over from education to do that. Or maybe you want to teach a lot of computer courses in K through 12. So this is a great degree for that. If you go for the MSITM, perhaps you want to teach in a community college somewhere, IT courses. So yes, it's a fantastic degree for that. Your general education courses would most likely transfer in as well. So that's something you could work with our admissions counselors on.
So the next question, Peggy, is, are the certifications mandatory to complete?
Yes, the certifications are mandatory to complete with one exception, and that is the CAPM in the master's program. So the CAPM is optional, and the reason for that is we have some students at the graduate level who know they're not going into project management. So we want to expose you to that. But if you know you're not going into project management, then the CAPM is optional. We do give you a voucher to take it if you want to, but if you don't want to, you do not have to. The rest of the certifications are required.
The next question is, as someone with industry experience, having held titles like Director of IT, but with only an associate's, what's the typical timeline to achieve a master's?
So I think one that depends. It depends on a lot on you. So we do have a competency-based program, and that means you can do this in your own time. So part of it depends on how much time you have to spend on it. So if you have a lot of time, you can finish very, very quickly because you'll be bringing a lot of background and experience into the program. And I see too, we had Debbie Corney who's joined us, and Debbie is the leader of our mentoring team for MSITM. So Debbie, you might want to weigh in on this question because you work with a lot of our master's degree students who are trying to accelerate through a program.
Hey, Debbie.
Yeah.
It seems like some folks can't hear you. Unfortunately, we can hear you, but it looks like you're off stage. You might want to come back in and go on stage. Maybe that might be it, or maybe it's a mic issue. But the attendance, we can hear you, but I think you need to be on stage. So just heads up.
Okay. Well, I'll just repeat then, since people couldn't hear Debbie, what she said. She said that some students come into the program, and because we're not about seat time, we're about being competency based. Some students can finish as quickly as 6 months, but that's doing about one course. About one course a month, or a little bit more than one course a month. So that, again, it depends on your background, your knowledge, what you're bringing in, how much time you have to spend. So we like to say, you can go as fast as you want to, but you can't always go as slow as you want to. So we want you to be successful and leave with a degree.
The next question, Peggy, is, does WGU offer a cap and gown type graduation, and how do they do that?
Oh my gosh, yes. I so love commencement. So we have commencements all around the country. Typically, we have 5 or 6 a year. So I just got back from Louisville, Kentucky. So we had our alumni celebration on Friday night before commencement at Churchill Downs, where they run the historic Kentucky Derby. It was fabulous. And your families are welcome to come to that. Bring the kids. There's lots of games and entertainment, real party atmosphere. And then the next day we had the commencement ceremony at the KFC Yum Center right downtown on the river. Great ceremony. Everybody walks across the stage. Everybody has their face and their name highlighted, and you're going to shake hands with Paul Bingham, our senior vice president, who is almost always on stage there to award those degrees. So it's so rewarding. It's a lot of fun, and I love going to those. The next one we have, I believe, is in Seattle this year, and then we're going to Boston after that, and Chicago and Atlanta. So we move around the country, and every year it's slightly different locations, and you can pick the one that you want to go to. If you can't go in person, we do also have 2 virtual commencements, so you can participate in those as well.
Peggy, the next question is, would this degree be a good option for someone wanting to be a programmer?
You know, if I wanted to be a programmer, I would really recommend that you look at our BS in software engineering, or I would look at our BS in computer science. You're going to take a little bit of programming in this degree, but if you want to be a software engineer and you know that today, go get that specialized degree. You're going to become expert at Java programming. You're not going to have that kind of expertise when you finish this program. We're going to give you some basic knowledge. Granted, you could build on that, but I would go get software engineering or computer science if I knew I wanted to write code. That is an industry that is really going to be changing in the future. And so I think learning to use AI when you code is a critical skill, and we are working that into those courses as well.
The next question is, what is the fastest way to finish WGU?
I would say the fastest way to finish WGU is to engage with your instructors, engage with your program mentors and your learning resources. Set aside some dedicated time every day that you can study, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour. I know I had a student tell me one time I spent 2 hours every single day. Sometimes it's really late at night, but I got through in record time. So what you need to find a time that works for you, whether it's 3 days a week or 4 days a week, whatever it is, set aside a regular schedule, hold yourself accountable to do that, and then call on help. We have fantastic instructors. They love to meet with students. How many universities can you go to and just get FaceTime with your instructor on demand? So it's really great. Our instructors also, if you like more live instruction, they have what we call cohorts where they do a lot of webinars, some live instruction, and then if you have life events that come up and you're having trouble navigating those, we have mentors who will help you with those events. They'll help you work out that study schedule. They'll help you find time on your calendar. They'll connect you with community resources or whatever you need to help you get through your degree.
The next question is, would this program be a good fit for someone with no experience in IT and looking to pursue IT?
So we do have a number of students who come into this program with no experience. So I'm going to say yes, it is. But please, when you come into it with no experience, let your mentor know, let your instructors know. You're probably going to have to spend more time studying than somebody who comes into this program with experience. And I think that would be true no matter what program you went into without experience. If you're comparing yourself to someone who has 10 or 15 years experience in field, of course you're going to have to study more, but at the end of the day you're going to get a lot of benefit and you're going to gain a lot of really practical skills that you can use in the job market.
Okay, the next question, Tony, he is active duty military. He's questioning about the shelf life of our degree because he says that a lot of IT degrees are obsolete by the time you graduate, let alone 6 to 8 years gap from when he can get out and hit the work industry. So what would the shelf life be for our degree?
So, I think you're absolutely right. The shelf life of any training in IT is pretty short compared to, let's just say, if you got a degree in ancient history. I used to joke with my husband I was going to come back and teach history, but I don't know. I don't think I'd really like that. So I think a couple of things come into play here. One, at WGU, we're constantly refreshing our degrees. So we're on we try to be on a maximum of 3-year cycle for replacing degrees and fully updating them across the board. But in between those 3-year cycles, we're constantly tweaking courses all the time. So we never leave anything alone because we know that they're all obsolete. And so that's one of the things that really keeps me busy all the time is what course do we need to change? What needs to be tweaked? What needs to be updated? So very few weeks go by that we're not releasing an update to a course in our program. The other thing that I think is really important if you're going into the IT field is to acknowledge that you're going to have to adopt a way to be a lifelong learner. You're going to have to continuously change and remake yourself. Oh, I've had multiple careers in tech. I've been a teacher. I've been a programmer. I've been a systems engineer. I've been an administrator. I've worked on the help desk. I've been a manager, and I've been a CIO, and now I'm a dean. So I've remade myself multiple times, and that didn't come without doing some extra studying, taking some extra certs, and doing some extra courses. So you have to own that. And so I think that's really important. We're on refreshing our courses, and then once you graduate, you need to own that lifelong learning element so that your career will continue to be successful.
Does WGU offer job placement opportunities prior to graduation?
We do have a wonderful career services program here. And I would encourage all of our students to take advantage of that. Kevin, Debbie, I don't know if you have anything you want to add about career services.
Yeah. So with the career service side of it, they will help you tweak, your resume, your LinkedIn presence. The sooner you can get with them in your degree journey, the better, right? Because if there's anything you want to build in or bake in as you look at your career vector, you want to do that. So really very wonderful professionals there can help you. They can point you to job boards and so forth. So.
The next question, Peggy, is I have a bachelor's in healthcare administration. Could I go straight into a master's degree?
Yes, we do have a number of students that come into our master's degree in our MSITM from other areas. So they often are using tech in their jobs. They want to move into more technical roles, so they want that MSITM. So yes, that degree is designed so that if you don't necessarily have a background in tech, you can come into it. But again, I think you might have to study a little harder than maybe someone who does have that background in tech. But we have a number of students who do that. Debbie, I don't know. Debbie, you look like you're still off stage, so I don't. Yeah, so I won't call on Debbie, but we do have a number of people who come in from other fields and are successful in MSITM.
The next question is the BSIT a good choice if we know we want to start a career in technology but aren't sure what route we are going yet? Basically using this to build a foundation.
Absolutely. I think that really kind of nails BSIT. It's going to give you that broad foundation. You can take your career in any direction you want to. I think it's particularly relevant today because IT is changing and it's changing fast with AI. So I think BSIT prepares you to go in a lot of different directions. If you want to go in networking, you can add a few more certs. If you want to go in security, add some certs. Project management is the same way. So it's going to give you that foundation to shift your career however you want to take it.
Can I add something, Peggy, real quick?
Sure.
I'm biased, but yeah, I've worked in all the different fields of computer science, software engineering, and so forth. And the BSIT degree is an excellent degree to launch from. Gives you that broad baseline to go in different directions as you, depending on what job role you get, you can specialize, as Peggy said. So it's probably one of the most versatile degrees that we do have, WGU.
The next question is, what would prevent a mentor from approving or adding other courses to a term?
I'm not sure I quite understand that question.
Accelerate.
So,
I'll answer that one, Peggy.
okay.
The only thing that would prevent your mentor from adding another course would be time frame left in your term, or if you have not completed all the courses that you're currently enrolled in.
Yeah.
So that would prevent your mentor from moving up additional courses.
If you're communicating real quick, so if you communicate with your program manager consistently, responsibly, and you work that out, you can keep rolling through and accelerating. So it shouldn't really create much of a delay on your progress.
Okay, I ultimately want to get a cybersecurity position. Would this degree help me since I am making a career shift from healthcare?
I think it would. You're going to have Net Plus and Security Plus, which are really kind of the foundational certifications. If you absolutely know you're going into cybersecurity, we have a great cybersecurity degree. So I would look at that and compare it to BSIT. We have a lot of the courses you take in the beginning of the program are very similar. So, you could likely shift in the first couple of terms between the two degrees. If you started in BSIT and it felt good and you thought, oh, I know I could do well in that cyber now, you could move over, or vice versa. But I would definitely look at the cyber degree and look at the skill set. You absolutely know where you want to go, then sometimes specializing is a good thing to do.
Okay, so I believe you answered the first part of this question. The second part of the next question is, if you have a STEM undergraduate already, then can you pursue the MSc-SIA program?
I could answer that, Peggy.
Okay, go ahead, Debbie.
I did support the MSc-SI program not too long ago. And, if you have a STEM undergrad degree, you can go directly into the Master's in Cybersecurity, and you'll earn some certifications there, such as the Pentest Plus and the IC Squared, and also the CYSA Plus also is there. And if you're like on the fence about cybersecurity, you could actually go and get the IC Squared on your own. That vendor usually allows you like a free voucher to go take the IC Squared, and that'll get your feet wet to see if you like cybersecurity and this is the way you want to go. And that would count as a transfer credit going into the MSc-SI program.
That sounds like some great advice, Debbie.
The next question is, I'm trying to transition from the insurance industry. I have a BA in risk insurance and finance. I have zero tech experience. Would this be a good degree for me to pivot? I'm obtaining my master's. I am open.
I think absolutely. MS, you already have a BS and you have some background in finance. So the MSITM would give you some background and experience in IT. And I think it would be a great pivot for your career.
The next one, I will answer for you, Peggy. Can we take other WG courses not included in our existing path? That answer is no. You have to take the courses that are on your standard path within your program. Let's see. Is there a program where we can get the BSET but can focus on one area like cybersecurity, cloud computing, etc.?
Well, I think Alan answered that in some regards. You need to just look at the standard path of our various degrees, because many schools have electives, so you can pull in other courses that you're interested in. So right now, WGU does not have that concept. You have to take the courses on your standard path. And while we do have cloud, we have some cloud courses in the BSIT degrees, that we have that broad base in BSIT. But if you really want to specialize in cloud, we also have like a cloud and network engineering degree. So that particular degree is where I would go if I wanted to specialize in cloud, just like I would go to cybersecurity if I already knew that. If you're a little bit unsure, or you want to have a broad base so you can kind of hedge your bets, apply for a lot of different jobs, because if you're specialized, you're specialized. So you're going to go into that area. And sometimes I like to think about it in terms of what part of the country do you live in? If you live in Silicon Valley, specialization is a great thing. If you're like me and you live in St. Augustine, Florida, it's not such a good thing because we don't have a lot of big IT companies here. So we have a lot of government organizations or education. So having a broader degree is a better play for my geography. So think about all the factors that are going to come into play once you get this degree, because the whole purpose of this is to prepare you to go to work. And we want to give you some real skill sets that you can apply in business.
Is there any AI related coursework in the program?
So I think that's a really great question, and it's really relevant right now. So we do have some AI work in many of our courses, and so I mentioned that we revamp programs frequently. So that's one of the things we are doing, is working very quickly on adding some new AI courses to BSIT, and I expect those to come out after the first of the year. So if you're starting your program now, those would be available well before you graduate, so you can take advantage of those. But I'm a big believer in, we're going to use AI in the world of work, so we need to learn to use AI in every single course we take. So that's what I'm looking at in BSIT, is how can we apply AI in everything we do and do it in a responsible way. So we might give you an assignment and say, how are you going to use AI to approach this? Why did you choose that AI tool? And what's it doing for you? Because we want you to understand the why behind what tool, and not just the answer you came up with. Because I think that's important, is to learn how to apply those tools so that when you go into the world of work and you're faced with a problem, you can apply those to a real world situation.
Peggy, I think it's time for us to wrap up.
I think it is. This has been great. I love all of those questions, and it's just been great visiting with all of you, and I hope to see you in the virtual halls of WGU very soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate your time. Great questions.
Bye, everyone.